All right, hey, what's up, YouTube? We are back with another video on this Friday. We've had some stocks that went down and some that came up, so there are always opportunities in the market, but we're closing into the weekend here, so we got Saturday, Sunday coming up, and as we all know, the only things that keep running during the weekend are cryptos. So that's what actually we're talking about today. We're talking about the main cryptos, so we're gonna go with my watch list here. We have Shiba, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. So most of the times when you just talk about Bitcoin, you hear a lot of people making predictions saying, hey, this is going to go to the moon, this is going to hit this price target. And most of the times just by making that call out, especially because they're hitting all-time highs recently, you'll be right most of the time. It's just a matter of time of when. And right now we've seen a small pullback from a lot of them hitting all-time highs. Bitcoin, for example, hit 69,000 about maybe a week or two ago. And it started coming down. People thought it was crashing and the wave's over, but this looks more like a dip, and it has times where it's recovered a bit and then fallen more. But the reason that it's kind of come down is because where inflation was at an all-time high, where that was the time period where all the cryptos are going up to kind of avoid inflation, and consumer confidence wasn't as good. Now we've seen the stock market hit all-time highs, and people are testing to see when it's going to get rejected. So if you look at the SPY on the 4-hour chart, we're reaching all-time highs. We got rejected a few times here, and people don't know when's the next time it's going to actually come down, make a big move, or just kind of bounce right back up and hit new highs again. And the same thing's going on with the Nasdaq here. So that's really what we're looking at. And if you look at the cryptos again, a lot of the times when cryptos are already popping, a lot of people are trying to get in. It's a little bit too late. If you're hearing about crypto up here at 62,000, and then you buy in by the time it's 67,000, fear of missing out, and then all of a sudden it pulls back, and now you're stuck at the top and you have to sell for a loss. This is a lot of the times where people end up losing money on crypto, and some people might think it's almost impossible to lose money on crypto, but that is one way. If you buy when it's already oversold, a lot of people keep pumping it when they're in over here, maybe at 40, 50K, and even if it pulls back $5,000, they're still in the money. So of course they're going to keep pumping it, and they don't have to necessarily sell. But if you're top ticking it and it comes down, you're going to be in a bad position. You're going to need it to test those highs again. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting or just losing money. So Bitcoin, crypto is not going anywhere anytime soon. We're only seeing more people flock to it as kind of a way to hedge against inflation, hedge against the economy in general. But now it might be a good time to look back into it. The inflation is still a major factor in people deciding where they hold their money. It's not too far off from the highs, but it also isn't bearish in the sense of where it's people just selling, and we know how fast crypto could bounce back. And typically, it does bounce back over the weekends. One of the plays I used to like a lot is BTBT because it's based off Bitcoin. And over the weekends, it was a very, very consistent play where you could dump a bunch of money into BTBT, and where people are getting out of the stocks on Friday, selling out for their positions, taking their profits for the week, using those profits over the weekend, whatever it may be. People still want to be trade, and now for the first time, we have something we could do on the weekend, which is play crypto. So a lot of people are playing crypto over the weekend, and by the time it's Monday, you have a $4,000 or $5,000 move on Bitcoin, and then at market open, you see a huge, I guess, a gap up for BTBT or any stocks that are related to these cryptos, because there's a null period where you can't trade those. So of course, if it goes up 4,000, now the other related stocks are underpriced. So whoever gets there first is going to get the most of the gains. It may continue to in pre-market. People take their profits by the time it's market open, or they'll ride their initial wave up at market open, and then dump their profits. And even though Bitcoin and all the cryptos stay high, you'll see people start to dump by the end of the day, so that way they could start buying in after hours or pre-market. And just to give you a small example of what I'm talking about here, if I go to my watch list and actually can kick my butt in, this one right here was my best friend for a while because how consistent it was. I'm a strong believer in having at least one stock that is very consistent for you in the terms of one's going to be something that's predictable, so that way you can take a little bit more risk on other stocks. And this one was the one that was very consistent. I knew I could rely on it, especially over the weekends where people flock to the weekends, to the cryptos on the weekends. There wasn't a single weekend where Bitcoin went down for me when I was looking at it. So it was pretty consistent in the sense that people try to pump it or be active in the weekend, still make money, because otherwise you're not really making any money. So people are day trading or swing trading crypto on the weekend, or just buying in and holding and waiting to retest new highs. But yeah, so this is the stock I was talking about related to cryptos. And yeah, so people were going crazy when Shiba was hitting. I think it went up to zero point 0.6, and it was settling at a while like at 0.28. And when I first started looking at it, it was around 0.28, which you could argue is pretty late. But it made a 3 times move towards that. So whatever you bought in there, you still made a bunch of money. And we got it to highs of 0.85 or 0.00085. Yeah, this number here. Still very small, but comparative to where it was consolidating at here, it got pumped by Elon, I believe, and a bunch of other things. And of course, once people start buying in, everybody starts buying in. And when something's so cheap, you can buy tons of it. People were just buying for the longest time. But easy come, easy go. As soon as it was going up, a lot of people started selling, and people didn't want to buy back in because as it's dropping, there's no indication that it's going to start going back up. So people were just selling and getting out, taking profits, taking losses. And really, the next time it's going to go back up is after it consolidates for a while. People have a little bit more confidence that it's at least not going to drop down. So they'll be comfortable buying in here. And then we see more people start to buy in, and it'll start coming up again. And hopefully retest new highs. A lot of people want this to go to a penny, and a lot of people think that's unreasonable. But hey, it happened with Doge, and now we look at Doge, it's at 23 cents. I think it reached highs to like 60 cents or something. So who knows? That would make a lot of people very happy people and very rich people. So even if you're just playing this for the shorter term, it's something to look into. And that goes for all cryptos. As you can see, they're all green, but this isn't unusual. They usually make pretty big moves, but you just got to catch them at the right time. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this video. Keep your eye on crypto as the earnings season for the market has taken over. Before that, we had EV, so Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid were taking over. And that's kind of what, it might not be direct, but a lot of the volume from Bitcoin and crypto has gone to earnings, where people are waiting for good earnings or bad earnings and buying in, getting a $12 per share gain and getting out instead of holding their money in Bitcoin. And it's taking a bit of volume from that. But as earnings season kind of fades, we might see crypto start to go back up. So it might be a good time to start seeing when we might see that confirmation of the rise again. So that is it for this video. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time.